Let me just refresh my channel page. Probably still won't see it right away. Oh, well, actually,
You know, you're saying this right here, and I haven't even done the intro yet. You know that, right? Yeah.
well, I'm hearing it.
Hello,
Yeah.
people, and welcome back to another MO7 production. Looks like we are not having the horrendous frame issues, so looks like I was correct. It was probably caused by the poor
Storm.
weather quality.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, I had to mute you on stream so I could hear.
Ah, well, how wonderful. Yes, mute the host. Yes, let me just.
No. I muted the stream so I could hear you. Otherwise, I'm hearing you like a half second later.
You know what? You know what? I know what I'm going to do this stream. Yep.
I also need to turn down the video quality. Otherwise, I'm just going to get super far behind.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm streaming at max connection speed that we can do after our limits, so.
And that's fine. Well, no, if I don't turn it down with me doing PvP currently, and then Liz was on her TV, little things like that. It just can't keep up. I would have to put it on my phone.
You know what? I actually have to turn you down a little bit. You're a bit loud on my end.
Really? What? Not really. No.
Much better.
It wouldn't have affected enough that it would have really affected me. It just means I'd have to go and click the live button a lot more so I can see what Alex is halfway doing at because right now I actually have it going at 144p, just so I could at least see it move.
Just so you can see it move.
Okay, so I could see it move, but what happens is it'll hang for like a quarter second, and it'll get a quarter second behind, and it'll get a quarter second behind, and after like 2 or 3 minutes of it doing that, every say 30 seconds, it gets annoyingly behind. It ain't much, but it is annoyingly enough behind that it bothers me.
Okay then, so I think I'm going to make a Leopleurodon and
I didn't want to use
Plesiosaur.
Gravity Well there. Gravity Well was a mistake. Yes, you make that Leopleurodon. Is it at least a magical Leopleurodon?
No, Charlie, unfortunately this is not one of those kinds of games.
You disappoint me. I demand only the most magical of Leopleurodons.
No, Charlie. Charlie, you look quite down with your big sad eyes and your big fat frown. The world doesn't have to be so great.
Someone pick my ass up.
Charlie. Yeah.
I don't know what was killing me more, you or the Revenant.
Put a banana in your ear. Put a ripe banana right into your favorite ear. It's true, so true. All the bad in the world is hard to hear when in your ear a banana cheers. So put a banana in your ear.
And they've got a damn Daredevil. I'm just going to run. I'm not even going to be able to kill the Daredevil. Just going to give up. Just going to run, use my heal skill, and run away.
Yeah. So I was
fight Daredevils. Yes.
So I was watching a movie earlier.
What were you watching?
It was this interesting film with Nicolas Cage as the star. You know him, right?
Just a little, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. It was a movie called Dream Scenario. Let me give you the rundown.
Okay.
So there's this guy. He's really kind of boring. He almost seems, the most average kind of man in the world. No one seems to actually care about him at all. To the point where it seems almost difficult for him to be noticed by people around him. Okay. He's kind of an elderly gentleman. He's a tenured college professor. And, he has some struggles in his life, like he feels that his work was blatantly plagiarized by a colleague, and he feels that, life had given him a bad hand. Well, all of a sudden, everything changes. Because he, for some unknown reason, appears in his daughter's dreams. Except he's always standing around doing nothing, even when things are unusual. And he doesn't react or get involved.
Okay.
Yes. So, he decides he's going to lean into this. Well, this opens a lot of doors for him, because, hey, a guy who's able to get into people's dreams, that's interesting. That's cool. That's neat. It's a cultural phenomenon. People love him. Everyone wants to talk to him. And the thing is, he's always just standing around doing basically nothing. Like, when the phenomenon first gets discussed, when several people at a party all realize they're all having a dream about this guy named Paul, well, they immediately start talking to him about it, and everyone's like, well, so you're in everybody's dream, and you don't really do anything. How does this happen? How is this going on? And everyone's trying to figure it out. Well, so Paul, who's just as flabbergasted as everyone else, just decides to play along with it. He has people physically, talk to him and everything. He asks people, well, what am I doing in the dream? He's trying to figure out everything that's going on in these dreams. Well, for the most part, crazy shit's happening in the dream, and he's just standing there, just walking around, looking at stuff. He might say something every once in a while to people, though usually nothing bad. Well, a few weeks into his career, he gets his book published, and his life seems to be going well. And then the unthinkable happens. Somebody breaks into Paul's house and tries to kill him. Someone who's having a manic depressed episode and doesn't have a firm grip on reality. Well, when that happens, Paul and his family, of course, have to react. They, do what any rational family do. They get protection. They get, security and everything. Well, that seems to be the fix for a while, and he goes to get his books published and everything. And then something changes. See, instead of just sitting around or saying some stuff,
yeah,
Paul, in people's dreams, starts attacking people. I mean, violence, rape, murder. I mean, in one guy's dream, he just walked out of the shadows behind one of them and clubbed him right across the back of the head with a hammer.
Sounds like a normal Friday night.
Yeah, well, here's the thing about that.
Yeah.
I want you to imagine the ostracization that people who have been effectively canceled would go through. Like, people who, people have accused you of rape, people have accused you of molestation, people have accused somebody of terrible, heinous acts that are almost unforgivable. Now, yeah. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of that person who not only isn't aware of what has been going on in any of these situations, but also can do nothing at all about it.
I am, by the way, sending you a picture.
Yeah.
Stream health.
Oh, fuck.
We're still excellent. We're still excellent, but it gave a suggestion.
What did it give? Charlie, you haven't sent me anything.
No, it's still sending. It says try using keyframes of 4 seconds or less. Currently, our keyframes is 4.6. I have no idea what the hell a keyframe is on OBS, so I just at least wanted to send a message to you, so it was at least somewhere for either me or you to look back on.
Charlie, you're competing with Owen.
Four powerful flippers that help it glide through the water.
Owen Grady.
Like modern-day sea mammals, it has to come up for air.
Let me here. Give me a second. Give me a second.
Not a bad way
That's
to live.
fine.
Okay, let me explain. Every time that a new dinosaur gets released into the park, one of the characters from Jurassic World comes on and usually gives a description. Yeah. Okay. So basically, whenever one of them starts talking, it'd be best if we just took a brief pause because I can't pause them. I can't stop them from speaking at all.
Yeah. You also have a delay on stream compared to your actual voice. I can't tell when they're talking because I've got the stream muted so I can actually hear you.
Right.
Otherwise, you'll be waiting 2 or 3 seconds for a response every time you say something to me.
Right.
Because I won't hear it until it's too late.
Yeah. But so all of that put together, and then come to the realization that Paul can't do anything about it. See, he tries to be nice to everybody, and he's always asking questions like, well, how did that happen, or something like that. And while he's just trying to live his life, things go from bad to worse. Basically, students start having dreams about him being violent, aggressive, evil, destructive, and all that, and they stop coming to his classes. Okay? The dean of admissions, who is a close personal friend of his in the college, basically says, well, look, it sounds to me like these kids have literally been traumatized by their own, and he cuts him off and says, do not say lived experience, because you are literally saying that dreams are reality here, if that's the case. Well,
asset has been delivered.
So Paul is literally not in control of any of what's going on.
Yeah.
He can't do a thing. He can't even appear in his own wife's dream under his own power, even though it's something that the two of them talk about him doing. Well, basically, he appears in his own dream one day. He appears in his own.
I hope he's in his own dream.
No, he appears in his own dream one day while he is a jogger. He's a jogger running around trying to jog, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he gets hit with an arrow in the shoulder. And he keeps running faster and faster. And then he manages to get all the way home after being shot like twice with these bolts. Well, then the camera pans over to show the guy holding the crossbow wearing a camouflage outfit, and and it slowly zooms in. It's him. He is in his own dream hunting himself. And so he, after getting assaulted in public because some guy's wife and daughter has a bad dream about him, basically just breaks down in tears and is making some kind of apology video on Twitter and everything. And you know what his wife says?
What?
It was completely insincere and self-serving. Insincere and self-serving when he literally describes the dream. See, here's the problem. it's basically a very good example of the problem with cancel culture. If you say anything, it's not good enough. It's never good enough.
Delivery has been completed.
He's basically fighting an unwinnable battle. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere,
Asset has been collected.
it all ends.
Yeah.
Paul is no longer appearing in anyone's dreams. He disappeared from public life. No one saw him, recognized him, noticed him in any dreams. The public attention basically ceased to exist despite the great strain that it placed upon his marriage and life. So, you know, he gets past the controversy and everything, and the public largely forgets about him despite the supposed harm that he did after he wound up breaking a school employee's finger when she wouldn't let him go to his own daughter's graduation. Basically because she jammed her hand in the doorway to try and keep him out. Which, that's a stupid idea. You shouldn't do something like that. But that's the thing. Everyone basically forgets Paul ever existed. And he picks up his life and starts a new one. Well, then, as it turned out, his existence kind of brought about a new discovery. One that I think is far worse than giving people nightmares by somehow appearing in other people's dreams. One where companies discover that there is a way to actually put yourself into other people's dreams. Let me repeat that. Companies putting themselves in other people's dreams.
Free advertisement.
In other words, it's an advertisement you aren't able to wake up from.
Mm-hmm. No skip button on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. An invasion of privacy, the likes of which would frighten the hell out of me.
Yeah. I'd be going to bed with the tinfoil hat every night.
Yeah. Well, you see, they actually marketed this unique bracelet here that is how they figured out how to astral project into other people's dreams, and Paul got a hold of one. And he didn't go into other people's dreams to frighten them, to become their monster that they always assumed he was in their dreams. No. He used it to go into his wife's dream wearing an absolutely ridiculous Halloween costume. Because the two of them had talked about it once. Yeah. It really does ask some interesting questions. Is someone responsible for their impact socially in the world? Even if they haven't done anything? I thought it was very thought-provoking. Nicolas Cage comes up with these movies every once in a while, and I'm like, wow, Nick, that's some deep questioning right there. I mean, I haven't seen his other movie, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, but, I mean, seriously, Cage is a talented actor.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, then. So, I've got some plesiosaurs, I've got some Liopleurodons, I've got some Tylosaurs. I think we have just about all the different aquatic dinosaurs we need. Actually, I was going to make another couple of Liopleurodon because the ones I have are lonely, apparently. Yeah, see, they need a minimum population size of 4. Now, let me check the connection. And we've dropped 2.7% of all the frames.
Stream health is still healthy. Or excellent, actually.
Well, yeah, that's because 2.7% is actually well within the norm.
I know.
Collecting asset.
Especially since we've been talking for about 20 minutes now. You know, the problem with decorating these exhibits is that it's actually much harder to decorate the aquatic exhibits than using the brush tool would normally be in a regular exhibit. Especially with the nature of these animals, you know, they move in 3 dimensions, and it's not always very easy at all. God, look at that heavily armored mug.
Where is it? Right.
Hmm?
Looking for something.
Is this what you're looking at?
Asset in
No, I'm
transit.
looking at something else completely.
Oh. More Guild Wars stuff, I'm sure. There we go. They finally expanded their territory, so they're happy. Okay. Now I can go through the aquatic areas of the park
Asset transportation complete.
and put emergency shelters and things like that down to satisfy the needs of the guests.
Asset has been transported.
Hey, so
Yep.
I've been saying how I've been playing a lot of Dave the Diver recently.
Yeah.
I am honestly fucking amazed by that game. And that is saying something. Because, and here's the thing. There have to be at least 30 mini games, all completely different and custom, within that one game. It is a bunch of different game concepts, all put together in an extremely comprehensive way. It is really incredible. Okay. Now, we've got these 2 different areas of the park pretty well linked up. Should put down some amenities. Yeah, I'll put down a large amenity for food there. Put a large amenity for food maybe there. A large amenity for food over here. And then another large amenity for food there. And then one more over here just to satisfy these whining little bitches who are like, oh, we have to go so far to eat at one of these many restaurants. And I'm like, well, then maybe you should have gone to a small rinky-dink-ass park on the mainland. Since you don't want to see all this amazing dinosaur shit. Oh, yeah. I should have an authentic sushi bar set up right next to the giant aquariums.
Yes, you should. That is not what I asked.
What?
I was saying, yes, you should have an aquarium there.
No. You said that is not what I asked.
Yeah. I didn't get the answer I want, and it's not answering them with the answers I want. It's not following what it's supposed to answer.
And then we'll have deep fried fish for sale here.
Go ahead and put the stream back on live. That's a lot of ponds.
What do you mean ponds?
I mean, they're lakes, aren't they?
No, Charlie, these are giant tanks.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of water is what I'm saying.
And each of the water is for different species. Like these.
Let me go back to the tab. Ooh, fish.
Dunkleosteus. There isn't a fish like this still alive, Charlie.
I swear I've seen a fish with the jaw like that still
Charlie,
alive.
placoderms died during the end of the Devonian. There can't be any alive like that. Now, there are fish that may have teeth that mimic that, but there isn't a fish alive that's head is basically a giant bony carapace, and its teeth are an extension of that bone. That's not possible. We don't have one anymore. Placoderms have been extinct for an extremely long time because they were so big and slow and energy inefficient. It's part of why they died out at the end of the Devonian. There's no way one could be alive. I mean, this isn't like the Megalodon question where it's like, well, its food is still alive, but the problem is there's no possible way it could have survived. Yeah, the kids always ask me, ooh, is the Megalodon still alive? And I'm like, no, it's definitely dead. Because its food went north, and it was a warm water animal. Doesn't take a friggin' genius to realize how something that big wouldn't be able to survive that change. You've been awfully quiet.
Yep. I'm listening to you rant about megalodons. Hey, speaking of megalodons, are they still alive?
Fuck you. Fuck
What's
you
wrong?
with a cactus directly in your dick hole.
I'm good.
It wasn't a request.
Too bad for you.
Charlie, I know where you live.
How's that?
Because I was over at your house earlier today.
Were you now?
Yes.
Okay.
And we both know that if I walked off the stream right now, left it exactly where we are, came over to your house and kicked in your front door, that Cassie would say, hey, Alex, what's up? And I'd say, I'm here to violate your husband with a cactus. And she'd say, oh, okay, he's back in the bedroom. And that would probably be about how that conversation would go. Then the stream would hear screaming, and then about 20 minutes later, I'd be back online, and you would be traumatized. Now, thankfully, I can run these monorail tracks over the giant aquarium tanks in such a way that it'll make it so that guests riding the monorails can look down and see the various attractions without actually having to go in there.
Right, you build that monorail. No.
You know, I'm always a fan of films that other people never go to see. Like, for instance, I could think of 3 films off the top of my head that were underappreciated by the public, but that really did deserve the credit that they didn't get. Like, okay, I got a few here. Have you ever heard of Adam Sandler's Untouched Gems? Or Uncut Gems?
Can't say I have, actually, no.
Well, it was this little-known movie that came out. It was the story of this scumbag guy. I believe he went by the name of Maury or Morty or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Sandler's character. He ran a jewelry store. He was a Jewish guy. He ran a jewelry store. And his entire deal was he was obsessed with gambling on basketball. He had an addiction to gambling. Clearly wasn't good for him. Wasn't good for the people around him. But he had it. Well, so what happened was that because he had this addiction, he would look for anything and everything as an opportunity to make money.
Okay.
Including going so far as to gambling some of his pawning some of his prized possessions to get money to pay off other debts temporarily and then coming back to get them. Like a championship ring that he cherished more than anything, he would regularly pawn it out to a pawnbroker in order to get a hold of liquid money, basically. Well, then one day, he's obsessed with this specific player. He's basically like the Michael Jordan of the modern era to him. He is a god in his eyes. He is perfect. This guy is exactly what he needs. And he knows that this guy has been really into getting into his African roots as an African American player. And then, basically, he had paid some people in a kind of shady business deal to get a hold of these black opals from Ethiopia. Extremely rare, very, very valuable opals. And the thing is, the opal, it has this kind of weird quality about it that is just transcendent. People who see it, who actually look at it and pay close attention to it, are like, this is something special. And he's like, fuck yeah, it is. Well, basically, he gets his guys, his jewelry salesmen, to find this athlete that he's just absolutely obsessed with, and gets them to bring him to the store. He's got this special closed-in store with an airlock in Brooklyn. It's up on a high floor, basically makes it impossible for him to get robbed under normal circumstances. So he gets his guys to bring him in, and they show him all this crazy bling that he's got hanging on the walls and everything. And he's like, wow, this is cool. It's real cool, man. You got a nice place up in here. A lot of cool pieces. He has a diamond-encrusted Furby.
Why would you get something so cursed, diamond-encrusted?
It's diamond-encrusted and hanging by a gold chain, Charlie.
Just why?
Because people like to show off their bling. I mean, can you think of...
Don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with that at all, because, I mean, yes, it is nice to show off things like that. Why would you get a Furby of all things diamond encrusted?
Well, Charlie, do you know how many original Furbies are left remaining? Not a lot, I would imagine, at this point.
No.
Yeah.
Demonic things deserve to die.
Well, here's the thing, Charlie. Despite the fact that you were traumatized by that video game where Furbies were coming to try and eat you.
There was a video game for that?
Oh my God, are you telling me you never saw that? Markiplier played it, Charlie. You really need to watch what Markiplier does more. Seriously.
I mean, I does, but I don't remember seeing that now.
I think it was about a year ago he did it.
How is this above me, but yet below me at the same time?
I have no idea.
I don't either.
Anyway, so basically, this special hunk of black opal, he says it could be worth millions, but he has to get it to auction. So he jumps through all these hoops. He borrows money from inside of his own family and everything, and he's just trying desperately to get the money here to pay off his debts, to get filthy stinking rich off this deal, and to sell this opal to this famous, incredibly wealthy athlete. Well, it comes down to it that the family member he borrowed money from ain't the kind of guy that you want to be owing money to. To the point where when he sees him at the party, he threatens to come across the table and beat the hell out of him if he doesn't have the money. And he didn't have the money, obviously, so he left. His whole family was very disappointed in how he was acting and everything, and the fact that he had done such a dishonorable thing. Well, the guy hires some people to come into his shop and beat the hell out of him.
Okay.
At one point, they corner him at his daughter's recital, take him outside, strip him naked, and then lock him in his own trunk. He has to get his wife to come and open up the trunk so he can go get some clothes and go take care of something. It really is an embarrassing scene for him. And then, finally, the guys show up at his place of business, and he had actually sold the literal gem to that famous guy who was playing basketball. And here's what happened. The guy killed it in the game. He was killing it amazingly. And here was the deal. Sandler had passed all of the money out the window while he was cornered to his assistant and told her to go place the craziest bet you have ever heard on him. And he fit every single one. And he's sitting there watching this amazing play happen on the screen with those two guys and their boss locked in the airlock. And those two guys, the guy he borrowed the money from is smiling from ear to ear, and Adam Sandler is grinning like Satan himself. Like, I just made $16 million on the bet. And he says, and then as soon as they got the money, as soon as the game's over and he knows he'd won every single thing he had betted on, which was like 10,000 to 1 odds, and he had placed $300,000 on that bet, he knew he was about to make a killing, and that money was going to be paid back to his, relative that he had taken the money from in the first place. And so, the moment he opened up the door, the two mercenaries that had been locked in the airlock with his family member said, "Screw this." They pulled out guns, shot him in the head, shot his relative in the head, and looted the store.
Nope.
Get her, Kibbles. Get her, Kibbles. Get her, Kibbles.
Go for it! Go for the jugular cat. Go for it!
Closer to your stomach does not mean that you walking is you laying down.
But yeah, you see, that movie, it was very weird in that it was an interesting film, but it had a very weird ending. Like, why would those mercenaries just decide, you know what, to hell with this, we're going to kill our client, rob the store, and give up on all that money that was about to be coming to us?
Yep.
Because seriously, he had won at least $3 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at least $300,000, $400,000 for the black opal that had been sold. Then he took all that money and doubled down on it so that the guy would win the game. So yeah, I mean, he would have made an insane amount of money. An amount of money so great that his relative would have been set for life, and he would have had a small fortune still. But nope. And that's why you don't get involved with mercenaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean... Like what?
Involved with mercenaries would never be a good idea anyway.
Yeah. Mercenaries are just not cool people. Because they've shown very clearly that they're okay with putting people in a grave for money. And so if you have the money to pay them, there's a pretty good chance someone else can just say, well, why'd you take his payment when you could have just taken him? You know? That old chestnut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why'd you take his payment? You could have just taken the guy.
Because sometimes the customer paying is more important than his money. I don't know. Sometimes the customer that pays will come back and pay more.
Yeah, something
I don't know.
tells me repeat business wasn't on these guys' mind. Now that's interesting. This monorail station says it has no path connected to it, but then it is connected to a path. It's connected to 2 other monorails.
Fun.
Wait a minute. It says no path to other buildings. So if I put a restroom down... Nope, that fixed it. Yep. Okay, then. So we have finished the aviaries over here. Don't know if you ever got to see that.
I believe I did.
I mean, it's on the screen right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I did, because I remember watching you release the birds.
Yep. And we have finished the aquatics over here. Look at that beautiful megalodon.
Yes.
It's majestic.
Unlike you.
Remember, Charlie, nail guns in your nipples will be a painful combination. Just remember that.
Good.
Another great movie that, was basically canned because of when it came out. Treasure Planet. I know we've talked about Treasure Planet before, but it really... Oh yeah, great movie. It deserved more credit for what it did, but it's because it came out against another movie that was almost a guaranteed smash hit. That they knew was going to do well in the box office, that everything was saying, yeah, this is going to be a great movie. Another one, I don't know if I've actually shown you this before. I thought you and Cassie watched it with me once, but I could be wrong. Valerian.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, Valerian and the City of 1,000 Worlds, basically. It's this. Yeah, it's the story of this space station that's...
Yeah, and they're like after this pearl energy from these fish-like people, right?
Yeah. The mules, the mules of planet, yeah, basically the pearls of planet Mule is what they were. And they were after this pearl of extreme energy and the mule converter that would let it duplicate anything that it fed. It was eaten. So basically, they needed both of those things together in order to remake their homeworld in a little spaceship. And the reason why they needed all of this was because a war between the Human Federation and a hostile alien entity had broken out, and it completely destroyed life on their planet. Their planet was wiped out because somebody was using extremely powerful space weaponry in an area they weren't supposed to. Yeah. And who can blame them for that, honestly? I mean, this isn't like a modern day conflict where, like the Gaza Strip and everything. This is like, a conflict where there's a very clear, we had nothing involved with this, and still we are the ones who took the biggest hit. Yeah. Yeah, that's something that I would call a true victim right there. Somebody who didn't even know what was going on until it was too late. No. That sucks.
Darn it. Wish these stupid mechs would go away.
What are the mechs doing, Charlie?
Well, they're slowing my progress down on this escort. Every time a mech attacks, it completely stops the escort until the mech is dead.
You know, Charlie, it doesn't help the fact that we call you a whore on a regular basis that you're always talking about an escort. That was a terrible pun, wasn't it, Charlie?
Kind of.
Yep. And I'm glad I did it, too. Charlie's always talking about escorts and escorts, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we need to set up our main dinosaur facilities since we've handled the whole, aquatics and avians that have their own special needs and desires. Now we can start making a main plaza for our guests. And then we can start branching out exhibits so that our guests can go on big tours and witness our dinosaurs up close on the land. Because right now all we have are dinosaurs in the ocean and in the skies.
Ah, the ocean of all places.
What do you mean? The ocean of all places, Charlie.
Yeah, in the ocean of all places.
What do you mean?
Almost like finding a boat.
Huh? Charlie, I don't understand.
Yes, he does.
Are you making a little dinghy reference?
No, I wasn't making a little dinghy reference, but she would get that too. Hold on, let's find out. Cassie, little dinghy. Yeah, she laughed.
I find that doubtful, but okay.
He said he doesn't believe you laughed. Yeah, I know. Little dinghy. Little dinghy.
I'm unimpressed.
Yeah. Can I be done with this escort, please? I just want my EXP. I should have done a whole different island.
I'm going to tell your wife you're talking about escorts.
I mean, she's only right here next to me, so she knows about all the escorts I'm getting.
It's not good that you said that out loud so very clearly.
Gosh darn it. More escorts. I want to just be done. I should have chosen a different island. This island sucks. I don't like fighting Jade bots anymore.
Stupid
I
Charlie.
didn't really like fighting them before, but Jade bots have lots of EXP. No, they don't have EXP. They just have pain, suffering, and annoyance. I forgot to change out my Jade bot scavenging tool, so collecting Jade slivers, which I don't think I'm ever going to use effectively. Takes too long. It'd be easier just to get the material scavenge. Make sure to hit everything with sudden death.
Starting with the Charizards.
There better be a hell of a boss fight at the end of this.
Charlie, never say that. You're asking for a hell of a boss fight. And you're whining about droids.
No, I'm whining about the fact they keep coming.
Well, Charlie, you see, when you're a whore, you're always going to have to deal with things coming.
Not that kind.
Yes, that kind, Charlie. We all know it's that kind.
The reason I say there better be a hell of a boss fight is because there better be something worth my while that's gonna have a good drop.
You see, now you're saying that things need to be made worth your while, Charlie. Do you even listen to yourself?
Yes.
Are you sure you even listened to yourself? Because I don't think you did.
No, I listen to myself.
Okay, well, as soon as you're done wiping the drops off of your face, you'll make sure that all of those bosses that you've been hanging out with are making it worth your while.
Mm-hmm. Cassie told me earlier 12 inches is a curse, not a blessing.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Not. Yeah, right. Anyway.
Alex thinks 12 inches is a blessing. Wonder where he's going to put all 12 inches. It don't fit. There ain't even 12 inches of you from head to toe.
Charlie?
Yes?
Other holes exist.
I said head to toe on her.
Charlie, there's a hole between those two.
Oh, no, you're about 4. Okay, which asshole is pulling me? Is it you? Good, die. Why are there cryptis here of all things? There shouldn't be cryptis here.
Why shouldn't they be here, Charlie? Aren't they allowed to be here? Are you discriminating against cryptis?
Yes.
I think we need to cancel Charlie.
I've already slaughtered their kings. And I did say plural.
That doesn't make any sense. If the cryptis are under one nation or under one rule, how can they have multiple kings?
The split nation. It's like America.
Okay, no. We are not going to say that on the stream, Charlie. This is the official stance of MO7 production. The official stance of MO7 production is that America is still united and that we are being commanded by a geriatric fool.
So, question: what is the what has the drop frames count gone up to now?
Oh fuck, we're at 8% and climbing.
Yeah, I've got a 4 stream health, which is saying not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, such as viewers will experience buffering.
Yeah, okay, so we are down to 2,049 kilobytes per second. And that is not enough. I mean, it's going up to 3,000, but then it's diving again. Probably doesn't help my mother and Aunt Renee are here in the house and are probably using devices, even though they know I'm streaming.
I don't know how they could be using that much internet.
You have to realize they're phone addicts.
Yeah, normally phones don't pull a crazy amount, especially if there's only 2.
You say that, these two basically do nothing but scroll.
I mean, they could doom scroll all they want, Alex. I would like for the pause menu to actually disappear. Can I please move?
I'm going to continue for another 10, maybe 15 minutes. But
Okay.
obviously, if the things don't improve, then we may have to just cut it here and say, well, the hell with it. Because, I mean, what's
See if you can find the keyframes things. That could be what changed. I bet you YouTube changed their keyframes operator. It's not like their updates don't break everything anyway.
Okay, that road looks good. We could have a couple of exhibits right up in here. Something easy, something small, something safe for the kids. Then we'll start branching out towards the bigger ones. Yeah, no, my internet speed has not improved in the slightest.
Is the event over? I think the event's finally over.
Charlie, what the fuck was that?
What?
What the fuck was that?
What do you mean?
That sound.
I don't even know what sound you're going on about now.
Does Discord have a built-in soundboard now?
Are you just now hearing that sound?
Yes, and I did not like
Which
it in the
sound?
slightest. It was the air
Which
horn.
one? Oh, wow, you got a drum coming up then.
Oh,
That's like forever ago.
Huh. I didn't know that would happen.
Anyway,
yeah. Okay.
Wonder why that took so long to get to.
Well, it's probably because I haven't been in a Discord call for some time. Let me save the game before we continue. Because obviously there may be a good chunk of this that doesn't actually wind up on YouTube due to the keyframes not making it on. So, where do you think I should start looking for these keyframes?
Not really sure.
Well, I'll open up the settings first for the OBS. Okay, and then I'll look at the